I've just received this from a police officer, the serving police officer. And I think it's something that all of us not only need to hear, but we need to bear in mind. Because I've seen it myself all over social media. People are slating the police. We have to understand the police are given guidelines. They follow guidelines. They are not to blame for the guidelines that they are given. They are not to blame for the duties that they are given. They're given their duties, they carry out their duties. So this is what was sent to me. And I have to say, when it was sent to me by somebody who's a serving officer, you have to stop and ask yourself, are you being fair? And I don't think people are being very fair. So here we go. Yesterday in London, at about 11:25 a.m, armed criminals attempted to rob a jewellery store in Piccadilly. Members of the flying squad carrying out an Allegiance-led operation moved in immediately to arrest them. All 4 suspects were detained, but not without a desperate struggle. 4 officers were injured, one of them severely. He remains in hospital in a serious but stable condition. 2 axes and a machete and a knife were recovered at the scene. Yesterday, in London, just after 6 p.m, a man was attacked in Winstanley Estate. Police officers attended the location and found the man in his 30s who had been stabbed. Despite their best efforts, he died at the scene. 2 other men who had also been stabbed were found nearby and rushed to hospital. One witness, quoted in the Evening Standard newspaper, stated that there was blood everywhere. Yesterday, in London, just after 8 p.m, a van collided with a pedestrian on Regent Street. Police officers, along with paramedics and colleagues from the air ambulance, attended the scene, but despite all of their best efforts, the man died at the side of the road. It was the desperate and sad duty of the police to find and inform his next of kin. Yesterday in London, at about 10:30 p.m, a woman was murdered and a number of other people were injured in a knife attack in Russell Square. Police officers, including armed response vehicles, raced to the location and were on scene in less than 6 minutes, with little or no thought to their own safety. They chased and detained the suspect. He remains in custody in a South London police station. Yesterday in London, away from the headlines, police officers and their police staff colleagues went about their jobs. They searched for missing persons and they arrested domestic violence perpetrators. They investigated serious sexual offences and they searched knife crime suspects. They protected the vulnerable and they confronted the dangerous, and they did 1,000 other things besides. Yesterday in London, hidden from public view, police officers and their colleagues were investigating terrorism, organised crime, human trafficking, child abuse and every other form of wickedness. Yesterday in London, that's what the police were doing in just one city on just one day. It's what police officers are doing every single day in every single part of the country. Chief Superintendent John Sutherland. Please share this far and wide. My dad always said, and I firmly believe this, please stop criticising the police. Because while you're sitting there calling these police names, if your child was missing, you would ring them. If your wife or your husband was attacked, you would ring them. If you were mugged, you would ring them. If you were beaten, you would ring them. If your dog was drowning in a canal, chances are they'd dive in to save him. So please, everybody, stop slating the actual police officers that go out there and do their job. I'm not going to say that at the hierarchy at the top there isn't a major problem, because I believe that there is. But those police officers who go about their jobs every single day, serving to protect this country the best way they know how, please show them the respect that they are due. But that's all I wanted to say. Just remember, they are our police force.